Voting is a big deal. Voting is one of the most powerful things you can do. But first, you've got to register to vote. And second, you might want to do some research before you fill out that ballot. It used to be that in order to vote in Oregon, you just had to show up at a polling station on Election Day. Across the country, people in other states still do, waiting sometimes 4, 5, or even 6 hours in line just to express their opinion and to do their civic duty. But we do things different here in Oregon, and we vote differently too. Here in Oregon, you can get your ballot mailed directly to you, so you can fill it out at home, voter guide on hand, taking as much time as you like. And all you have to do is mail it back. But even if you slack on that, you can still drop it off at a ballot drop box as late as 8 p.m. on Election Day. And Oregon makes it really easy to register. But first, you have to ask yourself, are you an Oregon resident? Are you a U.S. citizen? Are you at least 17 years old? Check mark next to all of those? Okay, let's talk about registering to vote.
In the last few years, organizations like the Bus Project have worked hard to make it embarrassingly easy to register to vote. You can register to vote online at OregonVotes.org or through just about any governmental organization imaginable.
Signing up for classes? Stop by your student government office to pick up a registration form.
Taking your driver's test or waiting to get your license renewed? Register while in line at the DMV.
Checking out a book? Register at your local library.
See these guys on the street? They'll get you registered to vote in seconds.
That dude who's always trying to get you to sign his petition? He can register you too.
On government assistance, you can get registered to vote when you get Oregon Health Plan, food stamps, unemployment insurance, or other services.
You can also register at the county elections office. And if you lose your ballot or forget to mail it, you can drop it off or pick up a new one there. All you need is a valid state ID, a driver's license, a learner's permit or ID card, or your social security number and a valid mailing address. Want more information? Check out the Bus Project, Rock the Vote, or Project Vote Smart. We'll not only get you all the info you need, we'll even remind you close to Election Day.
That was a lot of information in just a little time. So to simplify, go to OregonVotes.org to register to vote. And remember, you can't vote until you're 18, but you can pre-register when you're 17. And because Oregon votes by mail, you need to re-register every time you move. If you need to find out where you can drop off your ballot, you can find the closest drop box at sos.state.or.us/dropbox. So by now, you're on your way to voting. You're registered, you know how to find a drop box, but of course, you owe it to yourself to be an informed voter. So first, what are you voting for?
State governor.
Oregon Supreme Court.
The President of the United States.
Senator.
City councilor, county commissioner.
U.S. representative.
Now, when most people think of voting, they think of the really big elections, the presidential election for one. But did you know that elections are happening all the time in Oregon? Not only that, most of these other elections are arguably more important than the presidential election. The president makes a lot of important decisions, but your state and local governments, these folks make decisions that affect you every single day.
Our legislators decide on most of the funding for our public schools and can raise and lower state taxes without a public vote.
Your city and county commissioners decide how to fund and operate local services like police and fire.
Another huge way that laws can be made and changed in Oregon is through ballot measures. Ballot measures are a way that citizens can change law directly.
Have an idea for a law or want to get rid of a law that you don't like?
If you can get enough Oregonians to sign a petition backing your idea, you can get it on the ballot and potentially get that law changed.
But just because a measure gets on the ballot doesn't necessarily make it a good idea. You want to think through those ballot measures, because sometimes powerful interests will put a measure on the ballot to benefit themselves, but it could end up hurting you.
Luckily, the state of Oregon puts out a guide every election season, and that'll give you the lowdown on all of the ballot measures and candidates you'll be voting on. And you can always hit the web, where dozens of groups and your fellow citizens are eager to tell you just what they think of every candidate and every measure on the ballot.
Me, personally, I like to feel engaged with the whole voting thing. So I like talking it through with my friends and family and doing my own research. So when it comes to filling out that ballot, I'm really in the know. It's your voice, your civic duty, your right. But deep down, people vote because...
I vote for my family.
I vote because every voice does matter.
Because my grandmother couldn't.
Because democracy only works if you participate.
I vote because if I want my voice to be heard, the first thing I must do is vote.
I vote for more bike lanes.
For cleaner streams.
For more jobs.
For the future of the arts. I vote because I want a say in where my tax dollars go.
Because of all the women who ensure my right to vote.
Because I did last year.
Because it's easy.
I vote because it's my civic duty.
And I vote because I can. But it's really up to you. It's easy to get registered. If in doubt, ask a friend to help. There's loads of information out there about who and what you'll be voting for come election time. Register, engage, vote. It's in your hands.